Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another Sport This Week video. In today's video, there's of course all the sports. There's a certain big thing that happened in F1. There's always stuff that's going on in the football, especially around the time and the new season's just started for a few of the leagues, and the end of the US Open that's happened in tennis. So I basically say who won. And yeah, the cricket is just still going on. The one-day internationals going on at the moment, and T20 was finished off earlier. But yeah. So if you are new around here and you have not yet subscribed, you need to do that. Like the video if you do indeed like the video. I am pretty ill, so sorry if if I stutter sometimes because I'm just trying to get my words out. But I am here for it. I am repping my Red Bull t-shirt. This is when I went to Red Bull. But yeah, when I went to Red Bull, no, this was a gift from a friend, basically. But yeah, if you're new around here, wait, I've said that. Let's just get into it. Okay, I'm waffling. You can tell I'm ill. But yeah, let's just start off with the F1. So I got my sheets right here, so it kind of just says what's been going on. So Sergio Perez is going to leave Racing Point. He's been there for quite a long time now, and he's decided he is going to leave. And Racing Point have actually decided to change their name to Aston Martin. So I think that might be the type of car they're driving. I'm not certain on that though. But somebody who has actually decided to join in Perez's place next season is Vettel. Vettel has not had the greatest of seasons at Ferrari, but has decided to go to Aston Martin. But I mean, that might make them a lot better. But we'll have to wait and see if Vettel was the problem with the car, or if the car was the problem for Vettel. Moving on with S1, we actually go to a second Italian Grand Prix known as the Tuscan Grand Prix, where Hamilton won, back to winning ways, not having no time penalties this time. But something that did happen: only 12 cars finished a race. So that was because there was a huge crash. There was a huge crash that took out like 5 or 6 cars, like Latifi, Magnussen, Sainz, Giovinazzi, and I think somebody else, I can't remember, all got taken out in a big crash, which involved a red flag to happen and the race to restart again. Well, restart with the cars that they could have again, because most of them had to retire because it was a big crash. It was a big crash, and nobody really knows who's at fault for it, but everybody seems to be saying it's Russell, so it might be his fault. And if it is, that's he might end up having a penalty, because you can't really do that, especially when you take out as many people as they did. Only 2 people didn't end up getting points that race. That's very bad. But yeah, so something else that happened in that Grand Prix, when all the people got taken out, Albon, that he managed to get his first ever podium, which is why I'm repping the Red Bull, because he got his first ever podium. Verstappen did not finish. I believe that was to do with something a bit different. I think it was a car failure, not in the big crash. But yeah, so that kind of left an opening when there are only 12 cars for Albon to come through. It was tight between him and Ricardo, I don't know how you say his name, but he did manage to come out on top, so fair play to him. And Red Bull is my team, so things you love to see. Moving on to the cricket now. So in the T20, Australia won the last game in the series, but England had already won 2-0, but they won 146 to 145 with 3 balls remaining. But yeah, England still won the whole series together. That was kind of just to finish off the games. But in one-day international cricket, which is happening at the moment, there's been 2 games of that so far. And in the first game, Australia won 294 to 275. And in the second game, England won 231 to 207, meaning the last game decides the winner. But yeah, so that's basically all that's happened in cricket. It's just all the games, no drama or news of anybody doing anything. I guess we'll move on to the football now. So we're gonna have to have that time again where you do the transfer roundup. So James Rodriguez has officially signed for Everton. Very good signing for them. But then they also signed Decore, another very good signing for them. That seemed to bolster up their midfield, and they beat Tottenham on the first day. Kolarov signed for Inter. Just another old player that Inter keeps seeming to get out of. What else happened? Watkins signed for Villa for a record 28 million, for a record for them, and a record for a Championship player to leave. So we'll have to see how he does. I don't know if like 30 million, well 28, 30 million, is worth it for him, but he might be. He might be a goal scorer. Batshuayi has gone back on loan to Crystal Palace, where he did quite well last time, so they will all seem pretty happy when they saw the news. Florenzi has signed for PSG on loan, because they sold Munier and they needed a new right back. Arsenal accepted 16 million for Martinez to leave and go to Aston Villa. Aston Villa are still just spending all the money, and Chelsea have agreed a deal with Stade Rennais for Edouard Mendy, so the keeper, to go to Chelsea. So that might be happening soon. And he is a very good signing, I believe, because there's not many people going for him, but I feel like they should be going for him because he does seem to be decent. So, yeah, I mean, that just kind of keeps with Chelsea's theme of just really doing well this transfer window. But yeah, moving on to the stuff that isn't transfer news now. De Bruyne got PFA Player of the Year, which he definitely did deserve, over like Henderson or, I don't know, anybody else you'd give it to. And Alexander Arnold got PFA Young Player of the Year, which I feel like is kind of deserved because there wasn't, like, there's Greenwood and Foden and some other players I can't remember, but I feel like he probably had the best of seasons, but I don't know if he'll get it next year. We'll have to see how they do. And of course, Liverpool did win the league. France won 4-2 against Croatia in a pretty mad game where Lovren scored a very good goal for a centre back. You don't expect to see that kind of stuff. England drew 0-0 with Denmark, which was a very boring game where the team was kind of messed up with Trippier playing left wing back and the no attacking like centre mids when there's three in the team which he could have chose from. So they did end up drawing 0-0, which is a really dull game. Liverpool won 4-3 on the opening day of the season against Leeds. A very good game with a Salah hat-trick to mean that they just about win. And it was a late penalty that decided that. I think 2 penalties, I believe. And a very good shot in the second goal. And that is it for football this week. And then moving on to the final thing, which is the tennis. So, Serena Williams won 2-1 versus Sakkari. Just letting you know, Serena Williams is the only person left in the US Open that I was still reporting on at the start of this week. And then she won 2-1 versus Peronkova and moved on to the semi-finals, where she did eventually lose 2-1 to Azarenka. But yeah, so Osaka won the women's US Open, and fair play to her. She's like ranked ninth in the world. And then the men's one, TM, won 2-1 versus Zverev, where him basically had the game in his hands and kind of just threw it away. So, I mean, fair play to TM to taking advantage of when there was a weakness. And that is it for this week. This week in sports. I hope you did enjoy the video. Sorry if I am a bit muffly because I am ill. But yeah, if you're not new around here and you have not yet subscribed, go do that. Like the video if you did indeed like the video. And yeah, thanks for watching.